Hey everyone, this is Kaisif and welcome back, and today we're going to be looking at a fully automatic pattern-based flow placer. So as you can see, we've got a pattern going on and this has been completely automated. So let's look at this. So the first part we've got is the block placer. We're using a smart piston, didn't try anything fancy. Place a block, activates the redstone, and it activates this dropper counter, which I've shown a bunch of times. Items go into the hopper, which is locked. Once the items drain out, this hopper clock with 11 items is activated, allowing the counter to reset. That's pretty simple. The next part is the other output. Now, if you're familiar with Redstone, you'll recognize this as a piston feed tape. And we've got some composters, each of them with varying level of fullness if you look on the right side. So as you can see, they are in a certain pattern. So what happens is every time you place a block, this repeater sends a power which allows all these composters to be cycled around, and we've got a comparator on each one of them which takes the output from a single composter. That is then run into this comparator line, which is placed like this so that the signal strength remains the same throughout. And it's then run into this red coder, which is basically a system which gives you a single output from a comparator output. And as you can see, every single torch has a different color lined up to it. So yeah, so based on the signal strength that you get, you're given a different block every single time. So every single row actually accounts for a different row in the pattern. So for example, this one would account for the second row, this for the third one, and so on and so forth. And every time you cycle it around, it selects each individual column of the block. That's basically how this works. So after every row is finished, you want it to switch between the column codes, and that is determined by that hopper clock, which sends the control between them. So here we've got a torch which runs into this falling edge monostable circuit, gives a single pulse out, and that basically allows all the hoppers to unlock along this line. This item, which is below a solid block, is allowed to go into the hopper which is below a transparent block, and that pushes it into the next locked hopper, which corresponds to the next basic the coder for the pattern. And each of these actually activates these pistons here, which allows the comparator signal to pass through. So down here we've got a very simple AND gate. This input is from the block placer, and it only activates if that redstone torch is switched off. That way the piston is allowed to extend and allows the signal to pass through. Pass through into the decoder. The decoder then allows all the blocks to pass through. Let's show this in action. So if you can just focus on that block over there while I place a block here, you can see that that is extended, which allows, okay, I think I've missed the block here, but basically what that does is it allows the comparator signal to pass through. So if you can see over there, we've got another block. It goes down for a second and then comes back up, which is basically what pulses it so that you're not giving a continuous output, so the counter is reset every single time, which is a major problem to avoid if you're placing the same block again and again. So regarding these pushers, I've done nothing very fancy. It's a very simple observer-based pushing system. But obviously you would want to use a flying machine to carry it as long as you would want. And basically once it reaches the end of the line, it just sends everything off. It's a very small scale thing. I've built a decent number of flying machines. Another important thing here is this piston, which basically blocks all the blocks. Okay, fine, something. Okay, so as you can see, the counter has also been reset. Basically the piston stops anything from reaching you until the counter has reset. So as you can see, we're getting different blocks now because it has moved over to the second counter where things are a bit differently coded. So here we've got ourselves a green block. If I wasn't able to reach that, but now we've been given a different block type. This time it's yellow, and once again we'll be given a different block. It's green again, and yeah. So now I'll just try and build this out. Let's remove all the blocks and fast forward. Alright, so here we are after all the blocks have been placed. Okay, that should not actually be there. I think it got stuck, which is why you want to use a flying machine. But as you can see, the pattern has been carried over exactly. Yeah, it's better so that you could get a lot more length going that way and that way as well, to use a flying machine. And yeah, use something slightly more fancy to travel this. But anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. So ciao for now, bye bye.